our timekeeper sitting in the front row giving signals to our candidates. And so the next question is going to be directed to all of the candidates, and they'll have 2 minutes to answer this question submitted by members of the community. There are 15 council districts in the city of LA, and it's a pretty big city. And within that council district, there are a lot of neighborhoods. So we'd like to know what you're going to do to let us know about the specific needs of Watts and how you're going to ensure that the city of LA prioritize the delivery of city services based on needs in this neighborhood.
2 minutes.
Thank you for the question. First of all, to my friend Pat here, I don't want to take away health care from city employees, but I do believe that the city employees have to pay their fair share. For 5 years working for the city, I had absolutely free health care. I went on a leave of absence and I got my first bill from the city of Los Angeles last month. It was $1,350. So my point to the question is, when the city is spending 80 cents on the dollar on salaries, pension, and health care, you've only got 20 cents on the dollar to pay for all the services that you need to protect your streets, to keep your streets clean, to provide all the basic services from the city. And so I want to make sure that our city budget is efficient and is able to deliver those services. Right now, our city tree trimming cycle, 74 years. Our backlog of broken sidewalks, 85 years. This is unacceptable. We have to do something to be able to turn our city services around. So I know in the Watts community, there's a lot of issues, again, we talked about earlier with crime and poverty. I do want to see economic redevelopment here that provides opportunities for the people to break out of the situations that exist here and be able to grow this area economically and provide the tax revenue to provide more services for the Watts community. Thank you.
In my involvement with the Watts Summer Games, the Boys and Girls Clubs, and also with the Peace for Kids and working with Zaid Gale, I know the importance of providing quality service, and also as a police officer, working the streets of Watts all the way down to the waterfront. I've experienced it, I've lived it, and quite frankly, I know we can do better. What we do in the LAPD, with the leadership of the city and the police chief and Deputy Chief Pat Gannon, we hold our captains and commanders accountable through the CompStat program. Our success in the 9-year reduction of crime reduction throughout the 9 years has been by holding the captains and commanders accountable. And I plan on doing the same with our general managers and our city services in this district, specifically Watts. I will, once a complaint comes in on a city service, we're going to document it through our computer statistic program and hold the general managers accountable. Leadership equals accountability. Again, I've worked the streets, I've dealt with the city attorney's program and the illegal dumping, the illegal venting. I'll also call for a 7-day code enforcement and provide the resources necessary to clean up the streets of Watts and to improve the overall quality of life. Thank you.
I think the question is really asking, will you have a leader and a champion in City Hall who will fight for Watts in a way that will secure services? That's what I heard. To answer that question, one of the things that we have failed to do in the city of Los Angeles is that we divide resources based off of 15. We divide everything based off of 15. How many miles do you repave the streets? You divide it by 15. How many street sweepers for each district? You divide it by 15. We have to move into a triage system. Some of our neighborhoods, yes, the frequency of tree trimming is 85 years, but in other neighborhoods, it's about 5 to 10. In our neighborhood, the dropout rate is 86% in some of our high schools, but in other neighborhoods, they're graduating at 92, 98%. So the triage system has not been implemented, and as your council member, I will fight to make sure that our argument is presented in a logical way. I will read and write the legislation in order to do it so that they don't have the loopholes to get out of it. One of the other things that we have to utilize is make sure that every city department is being optimized and utilized. We have to reel in the power of the CRA. Unfortunately, the CRA, again, is divided based off of tax increments dollars. Our budget is about $5 million, but Hollywood is about, what, 100 million? Downtown is up in the upper 100 millions. Again, we have to write the legislation that's going to recycle those dollars that the taxpayers have paid and bring them into our neighborhood. We have one of the 4 historical national monuments in our district. We cannot jeopardize that value. We have a cultural asset that's underutilized. We have a watch star that we have not yet seen. We have so many great things in our neighborhood that for far too long we have been delayed. Not anymore. We need a leader and a champion that we've never seen before. We need someone who's going to go up there and say, you need my vote just as much as I need yours. If you want that farmer's field moved, then you need to go ahead and move and make sure we get the resources in Watts and make sure that we get everything that we deserve. So again, you need an argument. We need persuasion, and we need a leadership and champion that we have never, ever seen before.
Very quickly, for those who are disturbed to hear that 80% of what the city spends goes to salary and not providing service, let me just tell you that providing salary workers is service. You know, the city government is a service provider. It's not a business. It hires people to provide services like staff our libraries, firefighters, police officers, sanitation workers. So all of that money is going towards city services. We need to make sure that it's being spent wisely, that it's prioritized right. I've spent my whole adult life protecting public safety, so it's near and dear to me. I know from my work that the most challenged community regarding safety in Los Angeles is South LA, is Watts. I know how important it is to have the resources here. I also know it's not just firefighters, it's not just paramedics, as important as they are, it's not just police officers. That safety also means after-school programs for our kids. It means libraries that are open for them to study, and it means rec and park centers, gymnasiums that are staffed. So kids are playing basketball and participating in programs rather than hanging out on the corners and getting in trouble, quite frankly. So I would prioritize very carefully how we spend money. I've already told you how hard I'm going to fight to restore the local economy so that the city has the resources it needs. And as we get those resources back, I'm going to fight to make sure this community has its fair share, because the challenges for public safety are the greatest here. And it won't just be firefighters, police officers, and paramedics. It'll be all of what the city needs to provide to you in terms of service. Thank you.
In looking at the issues for the community of Watts, and I apologize for my voice, I've been talking with voters and talking so much I'm starting to lose it a bit. But still, in terms of these issues, it's clear to me that when the president ran, President Obama first ran, he listed as a part of his resume that he was a community organizer. Well, I also have that as a part of my resume. I've been a community organizer. I've helped organize around community issues, around services, around labor, you name it. I think that's what we have to establish again. Just as a city councilman being a community organizer, every one of my staff is going to be an organizer. They're not going to be a bureaucrat. They're not going to be an administrator. They're going to be someone that can work with the community, work with community organizations to get things done. Then we use the power of the city council seat. We're going to go and talk to not the staff. We're going to bring the heads of the departments to Watts on a regular basis, showing them, in fact, what's going on here. What's going on here is not acceptable. Watts is not getting its fair share, but the way you get that is making sure, one, they know what the problem is, but two, put the pressure on to make sure that people respond quickly, to make sure that we clean our alleys, make sure that we take care of our communities. Some of the business people I met with, they just want to have an opportunity to have different and more parking. We can fix those things. Some community people have responded by saying we need to take care of our sidewalks and trees. We need to work to fix those things. You can't expect government to do everything by themselves. We've got to get organized. We've got to demand the services, and then we have to deliver them. I'm excited about this opportunity to be the city councilman for the 15th district. I'm excited about representing Watts. There's a lot of issues we can work on together, and yeah, we're going to get them done. I know how to get them done. I know how to work with people to make sure that these things bring about results. Thank you.
Thank you. First, let me say, wake up. Of course there's a problem. That's why Occupy LA is outside of City Hall stores right now. And if there wasn't, if Occupy LA, and if we weren't upset, we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't have so many people. As a matter of fact, I heard that Watts was upset for years now, and there has been no glory or no satisfaction to satisfy us here. I'm a property owner here in Watts. I walk the streets of Watts, and I know that I haven't had satisfaction. That's why I'm running. We have a problem here. Basic business is money coming in, money going out. So, you know, they can talk and talk a blue streak, but without any basis for business, that's all it is talking. And we're going to be left with a bunch of politicians and no satisfaction after this is through. Except for, we remember the day that Candace told you that this was going to happen. Now, there's a lot of controversy with Los Angeles, period, because we have over $75 million unaccounted for in different, situations here across the country. This city right here. We have over $100 million that isn't being handled, that's free money, that could be going to Watts. We have a potential of 20,000 jobs that are available or that are becoming available to Watts within itself, that even the port itself said that they're getting ready to delegate. So this is what I'm saying, this is what I'm pushing, and I'm a woman. I can talk until I'm blue in the face, and I will talk until I'm blue in the face just for you. And that's what I'm going to do if I become city councilor. I'm